I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. Your session is now starting.
Erotic therapy.
Welcome to the Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Vine. I'm your host, Kaitlyn Bristowe, and it had been, since 2018 that I had a podcast in person with these two. Many Zooms, but the energy that is just so electric when we're all together. Girls Gotta Eat, Rayna and Ashley, and it is always a blast talking to them, so I know you'll enjoy this one. I'm so obsessed that we get to do this again. The last time we did a podcast in person was 2018, is that what you said?
Oh, yes. 20 years ago, yes.
That's embarrassing.
We were really new, and when we got, we were in Nashville for our third
live
show ever. And we got asked to do the podcast. We were like, is this real?
Aww.
And then you Instagram storied about it. We were like, oh my gosh, because we were really so new to the game.
Mm-hmm. Well,
we had our old faces. It was a whole thing.
Your old faces?
Yeah.
You got new faces?
Yeah.
Tell me more. Like Botox?
I've got a lot of Botox and filler. I had new teeth by the time I met you.
Oh, you did?
I haven't done a lot since I met her. I'm about to do a bunch.
What are you going to do?
Oh, and I have my third boob job.
Oh, nice.
So I've had 3 boob jobs since we saw you.
Why 3? Why have you had 3?
So I had a reduction, which is something that I thought about for my whole life.
Yeah.
I had triple F boobs. I had the biggest boobs you've ever seen. I'm 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to do it, and I talked about it for so long, and everybody was so supportive, and I got it done. And when I woke up, I was just like, I don't think he took any out. I don't really know what happened here. And everybody kept saying, I would be like, I had a breast reduction. And people would be like, you mean you're getting a breast reduction?
Really?
And it was laughing. It was sad.
Yeah, I laugh when I'm uncomfy.
I felt so bad for her. People were like, I'm sorry, what? And so I kept going back, and he kept gaslighting me, being well, it's subjective. And I'm like, it's not subjective. They're so huge. So he's like, I guess we'll do it again. And he did it. And when they healed, my left breast healed with a deformity.
And why do you keep going back to this person?
I did not for the third one. The first time, because he owed me a freebie.
Fair. Fair.
So it's a really reputable guy. Rayna didn't do a Groupon,
Highly reputable.
She really went to the best guy in town.
Wow.
Yes, I put up an Instagram story. I said, does anybody know anybody great? I got a dozen recommendations for this guy. The nurse on the way into the room was like, he does all the celebrities. He's so great. And I was like, oh, plus me. And he did it a second time, and the way that the scar healed, it kind of ruched. And the breast tissue never grew back on the side of my breast, so it was almost like an indent on my boob. And I just felt, I was like, am I gonna look like this the rest of my life? Which is fine. All bodies are beautiful.
Right.
But I was like, I've been so far down this road. I spent so much money. Let's fix it.
Yeah.
So I met this great guy here. His name is Dr. Daniel Barrett. He's in LA, and he
we love him.
gave me my third boob job. Now we're happy.
And now we're happy.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm.
Oh, are we doing mine?
I just got. you go.
I literally was like,
We're
Kaitlyn,
really,
you're next.
We're really open about
I'll tell you everything.
I got my nose done in 2021.
Did you really?
Yeah, and it was honestly, it was just the best thing.
Oh, cool.
It was something I'd considered for a while,
Yeah.
and I went to this doctor in New York, New Jersey, so technically New Jersey, named Dr. Ovchinsky, and it's so funny because they reached out. The girl who works in the front office was a fan, and she was like, if you girls would want to come in and get, your Botox, your fillers, and we're like, it's kind of far from Manhattan, right? But I go to his Instagram, and he's like, the rhinoplasty guy.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, could you get on a call, maybe? What if we just did a whole nose job? And,
And they were like, sure?
Yeah. I mean, I had a little bit of a deal with them, but I paid for it. I was like, I don't know how much I want to document this whole journey.
Right.
Also, that's an honor, a privilege to even have that on the table. But yeah, I paid for it for the most part and had a great experience. And then just general,
Did you do one of those TikToks where it's day one?
I did it. I saw so many of them right around the time, obviously, because my algorithm is serving me what I'm searching.
Of course.
And I kind of thought about it. I did one the day right before I went under the knife, and then I never followed through.
Yeah.
And
the amount of half-done TikToks I have saved in my drafts, so I go, I can't wait to finish that.
I have this drugged up. Me trying to get a side profile, one thing.
People that do that, I'm amazed by it. When they do day 1 through 14 of the healing. Ashley made me laugh so hard though, because she was like, I think I'm getting a nose job, and I was like, when? And she was like, on Monday.
Well, they had an opening. My brother was getting married, and this was still, we'd been vaccinated, but it was still COVID-ish, and which was nice because I got to wear a mask. We had to time it with my brother's wedding, and he was such an amazing surgeon. He was right at this 3.5 week point, you're going to feel fine. You're going to feel fine in photos and feel photo ready. And he was right, but it was.
I thought you were going to be and he was wrong.
I look bad.
I was like, oh no. Oh, so, and you're happy you did it.
Yeah, and we did.
It looks great.
Rayna came with me for the
great,
reveal, and it was so emotional. I
I
posted that
bet.
video.
I
Yeah,
would like
when
to
they
see that.
hold a mirror hair up, and you're like,
Aw. It's like, have you ever seen that show, The Swan? Or like,
I remember that.
Oh my god, that show was so.
Oh my god, that show was.
They literally put like
30 procedures on somebody.
yes,
It was crazy.
yeah, and then like showed them in a mirror after, and they were like beautiful, and they're like crying, but they're like the
so
different-
damaging.
so
I know.
The way that we grew up.
It's crazy, but like it goes to show you there's no ugly people, just poor people. If you have enough money,
It's really true. It's
you
really
can look at like Ashley and I like to talk about this all the time. Listen, I take lessons. It's fine to be poor or ugly. Do whatever you want. But Ashley and I like to talk about this all the time. We're super open about it because you don't owe anybody information about your body. I really stand by that. But like, it is nice to have people that will talk about it and just say like, I don't look like this just from naturally aging gracefully.
I'm going through it right now with comments that people are making because they know that I'm scared of aging. So then the haters are like, "You look old," and I'm like, "You know how to cut to the core of me,"
which is like they don't even mean it. Like they found a weakness that they just dug into.
Yeah, but my brain believes
of course,
it
but
because
you
I go
look
okay,
incredible.
and then everyone's like, "Yeah, if she stopped going under the knife," and I'm like, "You bitches wait till I go under the knife. You will know."
Well, you're
I
never
have
gonna
not
win.
yet, and I am going to. Okay?
Right.
I cannot wait when I don't know what age, 65, let's say, and I want a facelift. I'm getting a facelift.
Oh,
anything
I'm
you
going way
want.
before that. I'm going half
next week.
facelift at 52.
Definitely.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can do the half.
What's a half?
Just
A little less.
Wait, don't you just need the half?
Actually, I don't know for sure, but you know who just did it and was like open about it? She's Kat Sadler.
Oh yeah.
And was really open.
Oh yeah, I remember
about
her doing
it.
that. Yeah,
And it was like facelift light.
Yeah.
She's not that old.
I do remember that. You're right.
But
Yeah,
whatever she did, I'm down.
Yeah,
I'll do it. You
I'll
also
do
just have
it.
to remember that, like, no matter what you do, Kaitlyn, like, everybody is going to have something to say.
God.
Like,
Yeah.
you could get no work done. People call you ugly. You get too much work done. They're going to say you're too vain. Like, you're not
Yeah.
going to win. So just do what makes you
Right, like
happy.
That's true.
there's one celebrity, she just constantly gets dragged because she just refuses to get anything done. It's like we can't win.
Oh yeah. No. If I actually aged like without the amount of Botox I get in my face, people would be like, "You look old." They are like, "You look old because of how much Botox you're getting in your face." I'm like, that doesn't even add up.
No, you can't win, and that's when I kind of find it funny. I'm like, you guys don't
Yeah.
even know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You just are trying to hurt my feelings in any way that you can.
I was talking to, do you know Kelty Knight?
Yeah,
She was
love
like,
them.
showed me a screenshot. Somebody just called her Caitlyn Jenner, and they're like, she goes, the amount of times people tell me I look like Caitlyn Jenner, and I'm like, that's people literally just trying to be like, how can I offend
Yeah.
somebody? I'm not saying Caitlyn Jenner is not beautiful. I'm just saying, you know what I mean.
Exactly.
That somebody showed up to make you feel bad today. That's
Yes.
that's their purpose.
Yes. Do you guys get haters?
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
We say we have it pretty good.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
I think
You've got
that
a good community.
we
So
have.
do I, but
I always think like if we really like gained popularity and a following, like me personally, like in my 20s, I think it would have been bad news for me.
Yeah.
I think I would have just let it be bothered so much. I would have responded to so much. I wouldn't have really been able to manage it. And I think that having it in our 30s, and I'm 40 now, but we've learned a lot of how to like not take the bait and not to lean in, because people really do know when you have a weakness, and they just go harder on you. So I think we've learned of like when to even pay attention to something or let it roll off our back, or I think I really have learned a lot.
isn't it funny that you do really have to learn how to?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll
no
ruin
one's
you.
born like this.
No.
I mean, I feel like we're really lucky with a great audience. A lot of women, they're
Yeah.
really supportive. They want to hype us. I think that she and I don't really lean into it and acknowledge it. So that kind of quiets people because they know they're not going to get your attention
need
as
to do.
much. And it's not that people don't leave those kind of comments. They will, but we just kind of ignore it. And I don't read comments about myself online. I would never
good
go
for
on
you.
Reddit.
Oh, yeah, no, me either.
I don't want to read the
Oof.
Instagram comments even. It's not healthy for me. And I'm really lucky. I have a business partner. We have great people that work with us. We have great families. We have sounding boards. We're not
Yeah.
impervious to feedback.
Right.
I'm just not going to take it from a stranger that I don't know.
Yeah, I actively ignore it, and like I would never go on Reddit. I haven't read our podcast reviews since 2019. Like I just
I'm
don't.
the same.
But when you're younger, like this was the thing I thought when I was watching the D'Amelio show, they like can't not read it. And I get it. If I would have been a teenager or even in my 20s, like I would have, like in a sick way, you have to soak it in or something. Like
I know,
you
but
get
they're
older
also,
and you're able to ignore things more, I think.
them at whatever ages they are more mature than I am at 38. I don't understand. Like those girls are like actually like they seem like they've got it figured out.
Mhm.
And like
They don't. I think they have a lot of
More
that they're
than-
vocal about, but
more than what I had at their age,
Oh,
especially
God,
given their
totally.
platform. My gosh,
Couldn't do
when
it.
didn't you both live in New York?
yeah.
We just moved here 1
You
year ago.
just
We
moved.
just celebrated
Okay.
1 year in LA.
Do you miss the city?
Not this
in the
week.
winter.
It's pretty cold.
I know, I just came from there last night.
We're really happy here, and I think we are such New Yorkers, and media is in New York for us, and we've had these great careers there, and we love East Coast people. We're very much East Coast people, but we're really happy here. We love the weather and having homes and cars, and it's just nice. It's an easier life.
I feel like that's a big transition.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we got to do it together. We have like always been on the same page about stuff. So we came out here January 2023, like temporarily. We're like, we'll do 3 months. We did Airbnbs, and I mean, honestly, within a month, 6 weeks, we were like, we're gonna stay. And
really?
Get, like, leases and make it official.
I love that.
So
I wish I could move, but if I did, it would be to New York.
We get it.
Yeah.
We always like we waffle sometimes of like, do we want to go back? You know, because there's like great things about both. I wish we could just like be in two places at
I
once.
wish it was closer.
Yeah.
That flight last night, I was like, are we there yet? It was like 6 hours.
Brutal. Yeah.
Oh my God.
LA to New York, when you like lose the time, you're like, that was a 12-hour day.
Yes.
Like with the time change, but like when I'm talking, I leave my house at 9 a.m. and I'm in New York at a hotel at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Like it is
tired.
life ruining.
Yeah. Life ruining. And you guys have, like me, done so many podcasts. You have over 300 episodes.
We just did 300 last week.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We're celebrating 6 years next month, and we met you at right before our third live show. We've done like 200 since then. So.
Oh my gosh. I love live shows. They're so much fun. I'm doing another tour coming up.
Oh, you
and
are?
I'm just so excited.
Congrats.
Yeah. It's been the longest I've gone without doing one, and I miss it, and I love it, and I feel like I'm going to have like a whole new perspective of it, because I think I was burnt out the last time I did it, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't do that to myself anymore. Now I'm like craving it. Like I can't wait to get out and meet all of the VINOs.
When does it start?
Trying to decide that. I think end of March.
It's gonna be so exciting.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You gotta
so
take a
happy
break
for you.
Yeah, I did.
I
I took a break, but I need to be like in the arms of the VINOs. Like what is it called?
Crowd surf.
That's
Just
what I
let
do.
them, I did that once. It is a rush.
It's such a rush. I do it every time. It's
You do it? You really
every
do
time.
it?
Yeah. I do it every time.
That's iconic.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Cool. You're so small.
Yeah.
Like, what if I tried to crowd surf? They'd be like, we dropped her.
No,
They'd be like, just the short one. The tall one stays on stage.
you can just like vision it and imagine, but watch through her.
They can maybe lift me up in a chair, like a Jewish wedding.
Yeah, fun. We were talking about being kidnapped the other day, and Ashley was like, I think I'm outside of age range to be kidnapped. And I was like, you're outside of height range to be kidnapped. Somebody could put me in the glove box. I'm 5 feet tall. Nobody's going to try to kidnap Ashley.
Right.
Her
They're like,
legs are as long as my body.
They're like, she doesn't even fit in the trunk. Put her back.
Put her back.
I feel like with me, they'd be like, she never stops talking.
No, have you watched
her back.
the Netflix
American
That's
Nightmare?
why we're talking about it.
We're talking about it. And obviously we're joking, like it's a horrible thing. And
Yeah, of
we've
course.
lost sleep over it. But what a documentary.
The ending really, I won't say what it is for people who haven't listened, but like that made me weep.
Sobbing. And also I'd been so angry for 3 hours. Like the very end, I lost my mind because it was so much emotions other than like, well, again, I don't want to give it away, but it wasn't
police mismanagement of the crime.
But
right.
Well,
lack
3
of
hours of like anger and being scared. And then you kind of get this, well, again, I don't want to give it away, but emotional release.
Yes.
And I was like losing
Really did a nice job of that.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens without giving it away.
Yeah.
And I had just moved into a house by myself, and I'm like,
I know. We have,
I'm scared. I'm so scared.
I'm scared all the time.
We're scared constantly. I had a neighbor that lived next door to me. He's this big, giant, gorgeous Israeli man, and he left. He moved out. But I was texting him on Saturday night, like, "Can you please come over? Just sleep over." And he was like, "Come to this bar," and I was like, "I'll pick you up at this bar and we'll come over."
I know.
My new neighbor came over, and he told me he's an ex-cop, and I was like, okay,
nice.
That
That's
made me
good.
feel a little bit better. Yeah,
That's nice.
Yeah.
Is this your first time living alone? And
in my 20s, I went into debt just to live alone. I cannot do roommates.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I need to
you.
live alone. I lived in like a tiny little shoebox, and then from my two like very back-to-back relationships, Sean into Jason, then like it's been a minute since I've lived by myself.
Right. And
But I
you
mean,
have
I'm
the
by
dogs.
myself a lot. Well, we're doing shared custody of the dogs.
Do you split them up, or there's always 2 and 0?
2 and
Or do you
0.
ever just have one?
They
stay together.
Yeah, they're obsessed with each
bonded.
other. They like cannot be apart.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. So then I'm like, I love being alone, but at nighttime in a new house is very scary.
It's a house.
Yeah.
Like I've never felt more safe in New York in my
Oh, yeah.
apartment building with
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
doorman, and
Right.
I felt I slept like so easy. Like I sleep better here like overall, but just in terms of being scared.
Yeah.
And
I'm
like a
such
house
baby.
is so scary.
It's
There's
so
all
scary.
these entrances.
Oh my gosh, and
There's
the noises
Yeah.
my house makes. I'm like Kevin and the movie Home Alone when like the fireplace is like yelling at me and I'm like, shut up.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
that is
so
me.
scared. And
Your
I hear
house
this noise.
noises are unbelievable.
It's just I live by the beach, and so like it just creaks so much.
Oh, that's kind of
from
chic,
like
though.
I don't know.
It's amazing. It's just an amazing house, but
it's terrifying.
scary.
You live
And
by the beach.
I'm not like, well, I listen. It takes me like 6 minutes to get there. It takes a few minutes, but I live more at the beach than
It
Ashley
takes me
lives.
an hour. Like I can't.
Oh my god.
But
I live
I'll
down the
hear
street
these.
here.
I'll hear these noises, and I'm like, Rayna, these are the same noises you've heard every day for 365 days.
No,
It
even
is
as adults, we get scared like little kids. And I think
Totally.
it's kind of cute.
But then, like, you watch documentaries like that, and you're
Oh,
like,
I know.
I'm not.
I do this to
My fears are
myself.
not invalid.
I do this to myself. I also fall asleep to Grey's Anatomy every night and then think I have brain tumor every day. Like, every single day, I diagnose myself with something I've watched on Grey's Anatomy the night before. Like, it's so bad.
I watch Curb before bed most nights.
My favorite one was the Michael J. Fox one. Have you seen that one?
I don't know.
Wait,
do
what
you know what
season
season
is that?
season?
I don't know what season
Long,
it is.
not the current ones.
But he thinks that Michael J. Fox hates him, and Michael J. Fox blames everything on his Parkinson's. He's like, "No, man, it's Parkinson's." I was just shaking my head, and then he like invites him over to his apartment, and he hands him a soda, and he opens it, and it like goes in his face. He's like, "You shook this up before you gave it to me." He goes, "No, man, it's Parkinson's," and he like totally pokes fun at himself, and it's this whole like bit back and forth. It's so funny.
I need to watch. I started like later in life, and now I'm going back and watching old seasons.
Oh, it's so good.
And we've hung out with Larry, and it's just like
What?
the best day of
You
my life.
hung out with Larry?
We're on a first name basis with Larry David.
Yeah.
He said we were funny.
How?
I know his wife, and so we have spent a little bit of
Are
time
you
with
trying
him.
to act casual right now?
Yeah,
She is trying not casual.
Okay,
She,
because this is big.
I don't like to say too much. They're private people or whatever.
But that's so cool.
it's so cool.
You're
Yeah.
longtime friends with her from.
Yeah, from before.
Oh, that's cool.
But I mean, when we were like making him laugh, we were like, oh my god,
Oh,
nothing feels
Write that on
better.
your tombstone.
Totally.
Yes. I would write that
what
on
it was that made him laugh. Yeah.
I like group FaceTime my dad and my brother, and I was like, "You don't even understand what just happened.
Yeah.
You don't understand."
That is people would do weird things to be in the same room as him.
Hell yes.
Let alone make him laugh.
To make like
best-
genuine.
best-
I would be like, I'm the funniest person alive. I'm quitting my whole career because if I made Larry David laugh,
I've peaked.
we did.
I
it.
have peaked.
Yes.
And he's so nice and genuine. And he's like, is that character, but not. You know, he's not that.
Right.
He's like a
He's
really
like
kind.
That's like a
person.
dramatized version
Yeah,
of
but he
him.
is that like annoyed kind
Yeah.
of vibe,
That
and
is
he's
so
just
funny.
he's exactly what you would think in like.
Would
the best
he ever
way.
come on your podcast?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Just for him
try.
to come on and do pretty good, pretty good. I would pay any amount of money.
Yeah.
Then we could retire.
We could ask.
Guten Tag. Most of you know I spent a good portion of my life in Germany and have made many trips to Europe since. I love experiencing the culture of every other country, the food, the people, the experiences. I just love it. It always makes it so much better when you know some of the language to be able to navigate and communicate with the people around you. I actually did use Rosetta Stone when I lived in Germany because Rosetta Stone is the most trusted language learning program for over 30 years with millions of users and 25 languages offered. And it is available on desktop or as an app, which makes it super convenient for every type of person and truly immerses you into the language that you want to learn for long-term retention. Don't put off learning that language. There is no better time to get started than right now. So for a very limited time, Off the Vine listeners, you're going to get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/vine. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/vine today.
I feel like a lot of my listeners do listen, but for those who don't, how would you explain your podcast?
It is a comedy show about sex, dating, and relationships. That's like the short, like tag. But we really have heard over the years that people find it to be a podcast about the relationship you have with yourself and also like our relationship with each other.
Yeah.
And people go crazy for our friendship stuff
Yeah.
and things like, self-improvement, things like that, finding yourself and career, and it still stays in that dating, sex, relationship vein. And of course we want to make people laugh, but we
Yes,
really
you
kind
do.
of, it's just kind of relationships as a whole.
I was scrolling through your podcast stuff and I love the making the list. Like, should you make a list for finding a partner? Have you done that? Do you have a list?
Yeah. So Ashley, it was her idea to do the episode, and then I did it as an exercise, and I just based on how she had done it, and just thinking about what worked really well for me in the past and what went really poorly, and I loved the experience, and I made a list of over 40 qualifications, and like we talked about, I started 4 or 5 that were really important. We did some stuff that was we talked about like nice to have versus need to have.
Yes.
So like I would love to have somebody 6'3". I guess I don't need it. I
guess.
6'1". But it was a really nice exercise to just check in with yourself and say, this is what I'd like to find in the world.
Right.
Well, I made one in like August 2022, and at that point I was starting to get into this, like, I really want a partner. I really am ready. I feel ready. I feel like I have the energy to dedicate to this and the desire. And then I really made it my goal for like 2023. Like I really feel like I manifested it. And when I made that list, I was sitting down with a guy friend. It was just like a fun exercise we did over drinks. And he was very fun. He was like, be as shallow as you want. Like, let's do height first. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And there was still some qualities that had more depth, but it really was like all across the board. It was like 29 things. And I really did forget about it. And then I met my now boyfriend, and we've been together 8 months, but like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months in, I remembered the list. I like literally forgot. And I was like kind of like scared to look. Like I was like, what was on that list? And I was like bracing for impact. I was like, what if he's not on the list? But I didn't care. I was like in it. I was in love with him. But then I pulled it out, and he was like 28 of the 29 things.
Not crazy.
It was pretty crazy. Like to the exact like physical of like it was pretty nuts.
There is something powerful about writing something down that you want,
like putting it
and
into
then
the universe.
Yes, and then not like the fact that you weren't like, you know, like not holding it out and like taking it to the date and being like, okay, but like actually just like, putting the energy of it out.
Absolutely.
And then going back and being like, holy shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And people's feedback on it was like, we got very little. We asked our audience, do you think this is a good exercise? And we got very little no's.
Right.
But somebody said, you know, I don't think it's fair to like make a list of qualifications for your partner. And I don't think of it like that. I think of it as like manifestation is less spiritual to me and more of just like how you show up in the world. So if you say to yourself today, like, I want to find somebody with these qualifications, then you can go fish with the right pole for those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all it is to me.
I write out everything that I want.
Right.
Like goals, relationship, like how I want to be, how I want to show up, and how I want to feel in the world. Like I feel like writing it down is like the first step to putting it out there.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's more of, I don't know, I think it's like a healthy practice to do.
Yeah.
You're not like holding somebody to a standard where you're like, you must hit these requirements, you know?
Yeah, like make it and then like give it up to God.
Yeah,
You know? Like it doesn't, and if you find somebody that they're not on the list, like my point is like there are probably other things you never even thought to put on a list. They're probably more than, I don't know. So
I get
we really
that.
had a fun time with that episode.
Yeah.
Was that recently?
Yeah.
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 I feel like people could go back and listen to it and like take a lot away from it, because I always did like a negotiable, non-negotiable. That feels a little more harsh, but like
I don't think so.
You don't?
I feel like the top should be those like deal breakers.
Yeah.
So you stay true to yourself in terms of the stuff that really matters.
Yeah.
I think the partner that you choose in your life, especially if you want children, will be the most important decision you ever make in the entire world. So why should you not put all the energy and thought into that in the world? We would do it for a job.
Here's where my problem is. I change so much in like 5 years of what I want.
Change the list every year.
Oh, okay. Did I just change the guy every few years? Because that's what I seem to be doing right now. I'm like...
No, you didn't do that either. You had 2 really long-term, special, wonderful relationships.
That's
and
true.
just because they end does not mean they weren't successful. I'm sure you learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned so much. I always said that about the relationship that came out of The Bachelor, like specifically The Bachelorette, because everyone's like, oh, those relationships never end or never work, and they always end. And I'm like, I actually think 3.5 years is such a success in that world.
100%.
Yeah. Like I
Yeah.
think of it as in like dog years, like Bachelor world years. Like I feel like that was a really 3.5 years is a long time to be with somebody.
Even
From a
outside
TV
of
show.
the franchise.
Even outside of the
Exactly.
In
franchise.
general.
Yes.
It's like they don't last in the franchise. Yeah, they don't last anywhere. Like relationships are hard.
I just
Yeah.
hate we can't speak on that enough. It's like just because a divorce happened or a relationship ended doesn't make it a failure. Like you were in a relationship for years.
Right.
It's meaningful.
Yeah. It always puts me in a place that I know I needed to be. Like I
Yeah.
am in such a, like I wouldn't have been where I am right now without those relationships in so many ways.
Yeah.
But so you've been with him for 8 months. How did you meet?
I can do this. I was prepping for this earlier because I knew it was going to come up. I mean, it's a
I was
lot.
prepping. I picture you like in the mirror being like, so this is how we met.
Well, I could tell the story, sedated. I just like it's second nature, but it's long, and we tell it in full at our live shows and things like that. But I mean, the abbreviated version is he came to a Girls Gotta Eat show in 2021, and he came with some friends, and he came with his girlfriend at the time, and he had this like loose crush on me.
Yeah.
Like in like a hall pass, like celeb crush way, which I'm like, I'm not famous enough for that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, the joke is like, like I'm not, I shouldn't be your hall pass. This theater's only 1,000 people. Like, this is not Taylor Swift at SoFi. You
That's so sweet, though. That's romantic.
And we did some crowd work and talked to him and everything. And of course, I'm not trying to get in the middle of anyone's relationship. Like, we're girls. Obviously, that goes without saying. But they did end up breaking up.
Yeah.
And we DM'd, post breakup, like he had DM'd me way before. Like I joke that he like did open with, he shot a shot in a DM like before he was with that partner. But like over the years, just like casual, flirty. He's responding hard eyes, this and that. But I was like, I don't know. I don't really know this guy. He was hot. He was tall. He had a sexy voice at the show. But whatever. He also kind of seems like an asshole. Like he lives in Boston. Obviously those two go together.
Yeah.
And
he could be really sweet, but he's from Boston, so he just sounds like a dick.
Yeah, that's really true. It's this whole like mass hole thing. We went back to Boston this last May, 2023, like, a year and a half since like we met at the first show, and I just like slid into the DMs. Like we'd been DMing like who knows weeks prior, and I just slid in and was like, are you coming to the show? Are you still traumatized from the last time? And he was like, no, but can I take you out? And like that, one thing led to another, and we've like been together ever since. But
cute.
It was kind of, I was just thinking maybe we would hook up. Like I was like,
you're like, I'm in town. This is not going further than this. I just
was like off birth control, which I was hornier than ever. Those things are such a mind. Like that those, the way that correlation goes. And so I was just like, on the road, safely, since I'm off birth control. And I just like kind of shot my shot back, and I think he was like, what? Like he was like, wait, seriously? Like he like jokes now. He's like, the way I like called my sister and was like, Ash wants to meet up.
That's so cute. I like that.
It was special. And
can I tell you what you said in the car the next morning?
Yes.
I didn't know what was gonna happen either. And she got in the car. We all went out after the show. Her and him left. I went to bed, whatever. She gets in the car with us and our assistant, Tessa, and she looked at me and she's like, I'm sad. And I was like, that's okay. F the guy. Who cares? If it didn't work out well, then who gives a shit? Yeah. And she was like, no, I'm sad because I like him.
I get that feeling.
Because now we live in LA.
Yes.
It's also was
and
like,
is he still in Boston?
Yes. And like, what the that I lived in New York for 6 years. Like it would have been so easy. So we have been doing the distance thing, but and I made the mistake of telling him that cute little story, and now he just brings it up all the time. He's like, don't you miss me?
She was just like, I'm sad. And I was like, well, sex isn't good with everybody. Don't worry about it.
And I think I said, I was like, I just think I'm going to miss him. Like, I just knew I had a connection.
Yeah.
And everything kind of moved pretty quickly after. And
not quick enough. He's in Boston.
I know. Yeah. We're figuring it out.
What is your like tip for people doing long distance?
Oh, God. I feel like I should have prepped for this question too. Like, I mean, it's not really a tip, but I feel as though, like, if you both are really prioritizing each other and really both want to make it work, like, it just will work out. I used to think when my favorite long-distance relationship before they were no longer long-distance with Heather McMahon and Jeff, her husband. And we had her on too, and I feel like that was kind of her answer. She was like, I don't know, we just knew we were going to be together, so it just worked out.
Yeah.
This is a long time we've been apart. I'm going there this weekend, and it sucks, but we do all the things. We FaceTime all the time. We're in constant communication. We share location. We have so much trust between us, and we both really, we'll sit down and pop open our laptops and like plan, Q1 with our travel and our flights, and we just are both so committed. That I know. Like I was like, are we doing our like Q1 planning tonight?
I keep asking her like, can you sit down with me and give me your calendar? I need it.
Oh yeah, I gave my girlfriend my calendar recently because she's like, I can't keep up, and I'm like, oh here you go.
We need to be coordinated, but it's just we're both super committed to it, so it like.
Tell me about trusting someone and also having their location on.
Those are separate things to me.
We just don't. I don't know.
I get freaked out about it. Not for you, for me.
Because you asked somebody for it and they said no?
No, I would never ask someone for it because it makes me feel like I'm not trusting them.
I don't know how it just kind of happened. It happened like when we
Probably
were needing
more of like
to
a safety.
to meet
like
up
you guys
with
are in like such a healthy relationship. You're like, I just want to make sure you're
he
safe.
like worries about me sometimes, but
that's sweet.
It's not. I don't even.
This is my own shit.
I just kind of no, but I understand. I felt like that before. I thought it was a weird thing that couples did before I did it. And it just happened one day. I think we were trying to find each other at an airport, honestly. Like, it was a weird place where he landed. He's notoriously bad at airports. And, like, when he lands, he navigates the world very well. But then we just left it on or something. I don't know. It wasn't like a discussion. It just sort of happened, and I felt a little weird about it at first.
Nothing to hide.
And then I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I think every relationship, every couple is like a one size fits one. There's people who like
so true.
I wouldn't have trusted them, and so I wanted their location all the time, and I'd be checking it, and like you have to ask yourself like, why do I want this? And there's other people that like you haven't. It's just not a big deal. It's a safety thing almost. Like he just wants to know where you are and that you're safe at night when you get home.
Yeah,
and
especially doing long distance.
he's not doing it to either to control you either. You know what I mean? I could see there be an aspect of that.
And you're an evolved, self-aware queen. You wouldn't be with somebody like that,
right?
Sure.
Yeah. And it's funny because. At first I was like, I don't know. I kind of like to tell him about my day instead of him knowing I'm already at Rayna's or this and that. Yeah. And then I just let that go. But sometimes it's helpful because, like, the other day, I was like, babe, where is there a Shell gas station around? Because we have these gift cards. And I was like, I have to find a Shell. Like, I was like, I only see him. And he's able to, like, he's really so quick on stuff like that.
He's like, you're
and
here.
He really
you need to take
helps
a left
me navigate life. And he, like, literally was like, there's a Shell up on the right.
Why do you have Shell gift cards?
Somebody gave it to us.
Live
Nation gave it to us.
Yeah, Live Nation gave it to us.
But I feel like all jealousy, like if somebody said to me, are you jealous? I'd say it depends on the partner.
Yeah.
Like,
so true.
I can't imagine welcoming a partner into my life at this age, at this point, that would make me feel jealous. But you could ask every person I've ever dated and they'd have a different answer to, is she jealous? Same. You know? And I think that, like, the rules are different for every partner. Like, I've had partners where I've trusted them so deeply that if they said to me, like, a good girlfriend of mine and I are going to take a road trip, I'd be like, have fun.
Yeah.
Other people, I'd be like, you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. You think you're going to do that?
That's such a good point because I always thought I was just a jealous person, but I was just young and had dated the worst kind of men. And so I was so insecure in my relationship after the Bachelorette. I was so insecure because he was insecure and I was insecure and we'd both been jaded by other people. But like now I'm like, I don't think I have a like jealous bone in my body for like.
Right.
Depends on the partner.
Yeah.
Esther Perel talked about that on our show and I loved it. She talked about like relationships as figure eight. And it's like, I do a thing and you react to me doing this thing and then I'm reacting to your reaction of this thing. And like, we are in this like interplay back and forth that like.
Forever.
I wasn't. I wasn't like this with other partners. Right. You know, for better or for worse.
Right. Like I'm older and I have so much more information. I've grown up, but like my current self wouldn't even recognize myself in my last relationship.
Oh, absolutely
not. I was like busting in his house, like, where is she?
Yeah.
He was like recording a podcast. He was like, what the are you doing?
Yes. Oh my
I'm like
God.
Kool-Aid Man busting through the house.
I feel very seen and heard right now because yes, that's it. I always I even said to my therapist when I started dating Jason before, I was like, what if I have my meltdowns? What if I go crazy? And she goes, what if you don't though? Like this could be just a different partnership. And then I never went crazy. And I was like, I'm not crazy.
I had that exact same moment. I was like, when's the other shoe gonna drop?
Yeah.
Like when are we gonna start fighting?
Yeah.
And like hasn't happened
yet.
Because you're
Isn't
just
that nice?
Still so traumatized from your past.
Absolutely.
I mean, everybody
so much
is.
sticks with you. Like I'm traumatized from my parents' divorce as like and I'm a grown woman who does therapy. Like it's still things like get trapped in your body.
And every person affects you differently. Like even friendships. Like I have some friends that would say I'm a little more combative and I'll fight with them. I have other friends that are like, she would never ever raise her voice at me ever. And I have other friends that are like, she has ripped me to shreds.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's because of how I react to that one person.
Okay, who doesn't like a little luxury every now and then? But I feel like it usually comes with a cost. Until I discovered Quince. Quince is my place to go for luxury essentials at affordable prices. So Quince offers a range of high quality items at prices within reach. Now I got my favorite black cashmere sweater, only $50, you guys. It's so versatile. It's comfortable. I can wear it any occasion. They also have washable silk tops and dresses. They have organic cotton sweaters, 14 karat gold jewelry. And here's the real kicker. All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands by partnering directly with top factories. So Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes those savings on to us. So we can get a bang for our buck, you know? And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. So who doesn't love that? Give yourself the luxury you deserve with Quince. Go to quince.com/fine for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/fine to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/fine.
When I think about you two, what comes to mind is being badass, self-aware bitches. That's what I said. self-love, empowerment. I have all this written down, and I feel like regardless of the fact that like you're in a relationship, I feel like you guys are both mindful about being in a relationship with yourself first. Like I feel like you've done all, like even the guests that you have on your podcast, you know, to like gain knowledge and learn from other people and professionals. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
That's really nice.
No, yeah. It's something that I think I'm like trying to really focus on too. But I'm like at the end of the day, I love relationships. Like I'm always gonna get into another relationship. I just like it. I like partnership. I like alone time. I like So do you have any tips on how you can make yourself a priority regardless of whether or not you're in a relationship for the listeners?
I mean, I'm not in a relationship, so it's easier for me to make myself a priority. But Ashley and I, obviously the show is about dating, relationship, sex, but like she said, so much is it about your relationship with yourself. And so I always check in with myself and say, like, have I built a life I'm really proud of? Am I doing activities I'm excited about? Am I excited about work? Am I good with my family, my friends? Do I have plans coming up that I'm excited about? And then if all that falls into place, like how nice to find a person like that to be in a relationship with. And I don't know, I don't like myself all day, every day. I was like kind of upset about something the other day. I cried a little bit at night and I woke up, it was the new day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think having self-love doesn't mean loving everything about yourself every single day.
No.
So I have moments where I'm like, I don't like who I'm appearing as, and tomorrow you just change.
Yeah.
So I don't know I hope that's a good answer.
No, it is.
Yeah.
I love thinking of sleep as a reset.
Yeah.
Like it really is. I feel like I'm crazy though about dreams. I feel like we go into like other realms, and I feel like our body truly like resets and lets go of certain things
Totally.
for you to wake up for a new day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we go to bed scared at night and we wake up, we're not scared anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
Every morning I wake up and I'm like, I didn't get
Aren't
murdered.
you- I know, but like, don't you?
I know.
Exactly.
Same,
I'm like,
same.
made it another night. But also, don't you
Same.
kind of wake up and you're like, God, she is so embarrassing. Like the
Yes.
night before, you're like, everything's fine.
365 days a year.
Everything's fine in the daylight. And then you're
Yes.
like, last night I had a knife in the bed.
In the
You know
middle
I
of
have
the night,
one.
the dark, intrusive thoughts that come into my brain at 3 a.m, and then I wake up and I go, "She's so silly." Like that's, I get embarrassed for like 3 a.m. Kaitlyn.
I know.
Like she's like so.
Who is she?
She's such a scaredy cat
Yeah.
and like so insecure. And then like morning Kaitlyn and the daylights and the birds are chirping. I'm like, oh,
Pussy.
life is great.
pussy.
Yeah.
That's so true. And I was talking about this with Stassi on my last podcast and how like traditional self-care, like getting a massage, blah, 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 face mask. But I think of so many different things as self-care and like therapy, or I was telling her like even sometimes getting a little drunk is like a self-care moment for me at home.
Masturbation.
Like masturbation, big self-care move. Let's talk about it.
Well, we brought you some toys.
We brought you sex toys.
I know. I saw you two come in with a bag, and I go, I know what that is, because I got my mojo back recently,
Love
and
it.
so I'm really excited.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so I'm very excited.
Well, you want to talk about your self-care? I'll talk about vibes only later, but you want to talk about your self-care?
I mean, this is
Yeah,
so
I
different
want like
for
non-traditional
everybody.
self-care advice here. Like whatever.
Yeah.
Like everybody, of course, is different, but what do you do?
I mean, I think you have to give yourself permission to relax sometimes and like be like just a piece of shit.
I
Like,
have to give her permission to relax, but she won't do it.
Yes, thank you.
She will not do
yeah,
it.
like
Really?
I think all of
Oh, I
us
love
are
being a
really
POS.
we're like entrepreneurial. We work for ourselves. You know, we work really hard.
Yeah.
And Rayna has helped me with that of being like, you own the company. You can
Yeah.
just stop
Yeah,
working
it's
today.
She's like, Rayna has helped me to be lazier. It's really- Ashley will say stuff to me like, today is the day that I don't work that hard, and it will be 5 p.m. and she will still be, and I'm like, bitch, you also do this.
But so I think sometimes like, and a lot of people have an easier time of checking out and maybe their job, you know, they just leave it at the office and they don't really have to always be surrounded by the, you know, life that they built for themselves. Like we are really proud of what we built, but like, I think I've had to learn to be like, you can just lay on the couch, you know, and like binge watch something.
Yeah.
And like really be okay with that.
Yeah.
And then for me, like, it's always just, it's like, I don't know, exercise sounds so lame for self-care, but that's what resets my like
Oh, I get that.
brain.
Oh, I
Like
completely
yoga,
get it.
Peloton, like it's not that I'm so excited to do it,
Right.
you know,
You
but
just
I
know
feel
what it
so
does
much
for
better
you, yeah.
afterwards.
That's
Yeah.
I've talked about this a million times, but I was so sick a couple weeks ago, and just not moving my body for 1 week, I was so depressed. Like
Yes.
crippling
Yes,
depression,
yes.
couldn't stop crying, everything. And then I realized, oh my God, I haven't moved my body. Took my dogs out for a walk, came back, fainted. Because I just like I actually fainted. I was okay. I was okay.
Glad you're okay.
But I realized that just like getting out for 5 minutes, breathing fresh air, moving my body, like I like heavy lifting weights. Like I love it, love it, love it. But like if you don't like that, moving your body for 5 minutes, going on a 10-minute walk.
A walk.
Wonders.
You have to, and because I've had so many boob jobs, so I've been like relegated to my home for like weeks at a time.
Yeah.
Like the last time I said to Ashley, I was like depressed. I Googled it and it said like patients that have to be home for a long period of time, like 7-8 days, start to like experience symptoms of depression because you're not going anywhere. And I did this thing. I'm not really going to talk that much about it, but like I sent this guy this message and it did not turn out really well. And I said to Ashley, like, it was like mean spirited. Like, I don't know who did this.
Right.
Who was I when I
out
sent
of character.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was talking to her about it and I was like, this is so not like me.
Yeah.
And it was just because I was a shut-in for a week.
Yes.
I think one thing I think about my brother a lot, 'cause my brother has he has a high level of stress, and that he, runs a company. He has 2 babies, like they have their kids are like, he just got a lot going on. He provides for his family, and he just has like a high level of stress and managing employees and things like that. And he just feels like family time like resets him like nothing else. And that sounds kind of, that's not relatable to everybody. Some people have like families they hate and things like that. But I don't think it is sometimes like seeing a person or a family member or something that like resets. Like he'll always say it. He'll always say like after I've gone there or we've spent time together as a family, he's like, I needed that so much. I was like at such a high level of like stress and anxiety. So I like that he can realize that, and like he knows when he needs to like get it in.
Yes.
I feel like that when I'm with your family.
That's so
They're
nice.
just really loving.
My mom, she's a healer.
Yeah, they're really loving and wonderful.
Your mom's a healer?
No.
Emotionally, she feels very healing to be around.
She really
love
does.
that.
Yeah, she's just very like chill and hippie and
Oh, I
thing.
love that.
I love Ashley's family. And I mean, I like to cook a lot. I like to do a recipe that requires a lot of chopping. So I really
Is that how you get your rage
I like
out?
the way
I'm bad at chopping.
You are bad at chopping and opening
This
water
is my
bottles.
confession.
Are you like
I
a Kendall
don't know how
Jenner
to- never
chopper?
ta- I mean, kind of. I've never
Which is
learned how to
crazy 'cause
chop.
she cooks
like,
every day.
I've
She
never
legitimately
learned.
cooks every day.
You cook every day, but how do you chop?
It's
Give
like,
us a visual.
I don't even know. Like,
Just YouTube it. You'll figure it
it's
out. 5 minutes.
mortifying. I don't have a technique. I'm just like going.
I'll teach
Like
you.
you just
I like it. I mean,
Some people aren't good at it.
one time, I had a friend watch it happen, and she was like, "Oh my god,
I didn't know
I had a
this.
friend watch it
I
happen.
cut you off anyway." So you like to chop.
I like to chop and I like to turn on a podcast. I have a very specific requirement. I like it to be like not too heavy, but I want to like learn something. So Kaitlyn, your show is perfect for that.
Oh,
I
I
love
love
Nick
that.
Viall's show.
Yeah.
I love our show, but I don't listen to it a lot by myself.
You're in the room.
I like comments by celebs. I
Yes.
don't really learn that much from them. They just talk shit on celebrity gossip. But
Yeah.
I like stuff where I can learn like a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
not so heavy. It's not like a political. I'm not gonna turn on the Daily when I want to relax.
Right.
You know.
I feel that.
But Rayna just started reading, so this is
Oh, I
also
love
her
reading.
self-care.
Oh yeah, when I had my 3rd boob job, I was just at the house, and so I crushed like all of Colleen Hoover's like entire catalog in a week.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Colleen Hoover's my favorite.
Yes, I read 25, 30 books last year. I'm gonna try it. Or since
that's amazing.
since June.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of books.
I know. I'm 3.
That's like 3 a month.
I'm 3 this month.
Like
now.
Rayna just lays outside with her titties out and reads a book.
I
That's
do. I
her
get naked
self-care.
and sit outside.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Wait,
A
what?
backyard now.
You just titties out?
My house is fully like hedged. You can't see inside.
Oh, okay.
So I do get naked and I sit outside in the back.
That sounds like very free.
Sun my vagina and I read.
That's good self-care too, but you don't want to burn, but you can
Don't.
tan your taint a little bit.
Tan the taint?
We all like got sun in our pussies on my birthday
We're
trip
gonna
in
talk about what
Cabo.
happened, Ashley.
So,
Tell me everything.
This is my
well, this is
embarrassing
the
story.
thing. It is like, it's a thing, and like you don't, like Shailene Woodley talked about it, and it's like, you've seen it on TikTok and stuff of just like sunning, we say tan your taint as a joke, but sunning your perineum and just getting like some sun.
my algorithm sucks. I've never seen this.
But you need to be careful. Doctors don't recommend it, but I'm not a doctor. Live your truth. But, that's very sensitive skin that doesn't get a lot of sun. So you don't want to like get skin cancer
sure.
on your labia,
course. Yeah.
But really just kind of like spread equal and to get
just
some
have
sun
a
in your
baby.
vagina.
Yeah.
What does it do?
It just kind of
Glows your insides.
It feels nice and warm because you never get sun there. And then you feel like a glow from within.
I gotta tell you what happened though on Ashley's birthday. It haunts me to this day. We were gonna like sun our perineums at Ashley's birthday. We're all staying at this house in Cabo. There was like 12 of us, and 3 of us were like, we're gonna go up onto the balcony where the guys can't see us below. We're gonna sun our perineums. So me and our 2 girlfriends, not Ashley, get on our backs butt naked, happy baby, just hug your knees up to your stomach, and just
like
buttholes, vaginas in the air.
no underwear.
But none of us are looking at each other. We're like, our heads are sort of towards each other, so none of us can see each other, right? Ashley walks out on the balcony, and she can just see down straight into my vagina hole. All of our vagina holes.
I feel closer to you girls than I ever have.
I can't believe you saw me like that.
What do you mean you can't believe she saw you like that? You were laying in the happy baby outside while she was inside and coming outside.
I don't think they expected my vantage point to just be
The
like
vantage
straight
point.
into their buttholes. Yeah.
Oh my
I'm like
gosh.
a drone.
And how long do you do this for? Like 5 minutes?
Like minutes. Yeah. Not too long. And you want to put a little sunscreen on there. Again, I just don't want anybody coming to me and being like, I have skin cancer on my pussy now. But
it's not an everyday thing either. Like
no,
you guys sporadically.
Yeah.
It's like a once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
Sparingly 5 minutes. I'm trying this.
So anyway, tan your taint, final answer.
Okay.
Self-care 2024.
Some people do face masks, some people tan their taint. Wow, I'm going to try. I'm sick of getting spray tan up there anyways. Too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's continue on the taint talk.
Okay.
You have your own sex toy company.
Yes.
Tell me about this.
We launched Vibes Only in June of 2022. It's a premium sex toy brand.
Your branding is hilarious.
Love it?
Yes,
Why?
not that I'm with Jason anymore, but you sent me a shirtless photo of him
Oh, right.
with
We sent Spank
vibrators.
Bank material when we
Spank
did like
Bank
our
material.
original like boxes
so
to
good.
people. So we like took everyone's
very
partner and like framed a like sexy
It was very
photo of
funny.
them.
It was very funny. I liked it. Anyways, go on.
All the toys are Bluetooth enabled. It connects to our app. So,
Wow.
this
Got an
is
app.
Mm-hmm. We're a tech company too.
Cool.
This is-
Women in tech. And you can have someone control it long distance within the app, and which is fun for long distance relationships.
Wait, that's really cool.
Ashley can tell you about this toy. It's really
Okay.
special.
Well, I think we might have sent you the Rayna before, which is our like number
Yeah, I
one
have that.
seller, and then we're on version 3 of it. So every year we release a new color. So we did our 2022, 23, and we just released the new color in the Rayna 2024, and it's like a wand on one end and a sucker on the other end, so like an air pulse sucks your clit kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But we brought you the Lucy, which is like our most petite toy. It's like a bullet and has different silicone sleeves to put on it, so you can really have like 4 vibrators in one essentially. And I think we brought you some suck and blow gel too.
Yeah, vanilla frosting.
Yes.
Yum.
It's
And
just, I mean,
it's-
get ready to love a BJ. I mean, I can't even
No
believe it. I'm like
way.
always itching to suck a dick now
Stop.
because it's so yummy.
What? Like, obviously, it's
Well, you wanna
edible.
try it? It's in
Is
there
it
for you.
sugar free?
It's paraben free, sugar free, it's
Gluten-free.
vegan. It's the same texture as lube. You just put like one little drop, and it's also vulva safe, so you can put it on a penis or a vagina.
Oh my God.
Thank you. It's delightful.
And that is our favorite, or that is our best selling flavor.
Yeah.
Delicious.
By far. Thank you.
It's yummy.
It makes your breath nice, also, and it activates the saliva glands in your mouth. So it really
just
does
did
make
that.
for like a juicier,
Yeah.
blowjob.
Like I gave like a peppermint patty blowjob for Christmas, and like that was one of the gifts that I got my boyfriend. And
blowjob?
yeah, I'm like ready.
Yeah.
Spread them, babe. This is your 4th gift.
Merry Christmas.
I was just like, God, this tastes so good.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite
We
something.
sell so much of it, Caitlin. Like when we look at our numbers, Rayna and I laugh. We're like the amount of dick sucking gel we sell.
Yeah,
We put this out like 1,000 just flew out the door. People just go crazy.
Men should really be bowing down to you guys.
Yeah, and they should be buying it too because we think that the vagina is like naturally flavored itself. We don't need it, but
Yeah.
like you also can use it on.
The vagina's naturally flavored, like butterscotch.
Well, everybody's got their own.
That's what I think mine tastes like. Butterscotch.
That's
You
the
ever
funniest
tasted it?
thing.
I've
Yeah.
tasted mine.
What do you
Of
think
course I
yours
have.
is?
Sometimes it doesn't have a flavor or a smell, and I get upset. You know I do.
What do you mean? You're upset about it?
Sometimes I'm just like, what's going on there? And then other times it does have a smell, and I'm like, that's awesome.
But what would it be? I'm
Yeah.
going
If I could
Chick-fil-A
pick?
nuggets.
Oh,
It's
Chick-fil-A
too savory for me.
Yeah, that's like, I want sweet, not savory. Chick-fil-A nugs.
Can you imagine?
Any
or maybe
sauce?
just a Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah,
That's my
yes.
vagina.
Now
is
we're talking.
The Chick-fil-A.
Now we're
Your
talking.
vagina tastes like a spicy mayo.
Chick-fil-A is gonna send me a cease and desist. They're like, ma'am, could you not?
Yeah, right. They're gonna send you merch. they're gonna send you like
Taco
sauce.
seasoning, actually,
Like, this
flavor.
is not very Christian of
That
her.
I want mine to taste like whatever that is.
Yeah.
Vanilla
Yeah.
frosting.
It
can now.
Well, now it will.
Just
Yeah.
squirt it all over it.
Yeah.
Now I need to
We
find
have
someone to
fruit
get down
ones,
there.
Good. Listen, I'm sure that you have tons of people that would love to.
Yeah.
Do you think our sex drive gets more with age? Like we get more sex drive the older we get as women?
Women's are due, no?
Well, I mean, there's so many other factors because I could talk about this forever in terms of birth control because
Okay.
getting off the pill like changed my sex drive like monumental.
In a bad way or good?
For the better.
Oh, okay.
Like I had one.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Yes.
welcome to the world,
Right.
pussy.
Yeah.
So it's so like because then you're like, oh, and now I'm just at risk.
Right. Yeah, I know.
For getting pregnant, it's
Yeah.
like this. I know God is not a woman. That's the most f***ed up thing about women's bodies. But anyway, I mean, I think that everything's going to decline eventually,
Right.
but women don't have anything to worry about if everything's kind of like working as it should normally for them in their body in
Yeah.
their 30s, 40s,
Yeah.
50s. I mean, I have been meaning to read this, but Cosmo just did a whole study on women after 60, sex after 60.
Oh, really?
So like Lisa Rinna was on the cover, and they just like, I love that they're talking about like older women of that age and
Yeah.
their sex lives,
Yeah.
and tons of quotes from women being like, I've never had better sex in my 60s,
Right.
and my sex drive is up, and I masturbate all the time, and you definitely lose lubrication as
Yeah.
you age, and we sell a great lube for that. But
Yeah.
I don't.
There's
Women,
stuff for that.
it's not really. I think that's more of an issue you hear about more with men.
Yeah.
Is their
Yeah.
sex drive declining,
Mhm.
and so that's another reason why I like an older woman, younger man relationship, which I'm in. But
How
there's
much younger is he?
7 years.
Oh,
Yeah, which is not huge,
oh,
but
nice. Yeah.
yeah,
it's a nice age gap.
Yeah, that is a nice age gap, especially because he's in his 30s.
yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be with someone.
Yeah, we can't go under 29.
Yeah.
I exclusively go 28, but I'm
Do
working
you
on
really?
it.
That's your move?
I feel like I'm just attracted to all these 28-year-olds, but it's not who I want to like end up with. And I do think sometimes age is just a number. It is like another like one size fits one kind of thing. I think her boyfriend, her partner, is like an older soul a little bit more.
Totally, yeah.
His friends are older. He's not out getting up all the time and
Yeah,
partying,
yeah.
which would be totally normal for somebody who's 33.
Totally.
He's just not.
Yeah.
And then you meet other people who are 45 that act like they're 22. So it's
That's so true.
it's different between everybody.
It is.
But the sex drive thing also, just to anyone listening that's like, I don't have a sex drive anymore, like, don't just throw in the towel and like chalk it up to age. Like,
Yeah.
really explore what's going on there, like hormonally, and
Yes.
talk to your doctor, talk to another doctor, really see what's going on, because we shouldn't be women in our 40s, 50s, even like, I don't have a libido at all anymore.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you should ever just totally give up and
You
be like,
should-
oh, I guess
yeah.
I'm just too old now.
I think those people need to try sex toys. I'm in my sex toy
100%.
era
Yeah.
right
Are you?
now.
We'd love to hear
Yes.
that.
That's why I got excited when you guys were coming in with a golden bag. I was like, I just am. And it came out of nowhere, but I'm in it. I'm in it. That's my era I'm in.
Do you find that when you have a partner that you're like sleeping next to her and that you have like more consistent sex, like because you had a long-term relationship, like do you masturbate more or less? Does it vary? Does it have any effect on it for you? Because the reason why I ask, I tend to masturbate more when I'm having more sex.
Yes. I feel like the more like sexually active I am, the more I want it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I go through dry spells, I'm
Right.
like, eh.
I know.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Recently,
It's
I've
like
had to like
working out.
remind myself
Yeah.
to masturbate because
Yeah.
I've just been like less horny.
Mm.
I know.
And we have all these toys. So I have like a
Yeah.
treasure trove next
I
to
was
my
gonna
bed.
say, you probably have like a tickle trunk
Next
full
to the
of,
butcher
like,
knife.
Tickle trunk, yes. There's so many benefits to it. It just makes your day better. It makes you sleep better. It makes me wake up better. I mean, all those things.
Yes, it really is. It's your body's meant to do that.
Yes.
Maybe we should be masturbating while we're taint tanning. Can
Oh,
you
I
imagine?
masturbate out there all the time.
Oh, you
Constantly.
Do you really?
Are you a sex
Constantly.
offender?
It's my own backyard.
Wait. What?
I feel so
You've
again.
been masturbating in your yard?
Do you have neighbors?
Constantly.
Not in the yard.
Do you have neighbors?
Yes, I have one. But again,
Are you a quiet
I have hedges
masturbator?
around my whole house.
Yeah,
you
she
quiet?
is. It is private.
It's
Okay.
very private. It's a big backyard.
Yeah, but they hear the.
Oh no, I just go manual when I'm outside.
Oh, just the fingies.
My bedroom's upstairs and then all the way in the back of the house. It's when this.
Wait,
when
I'm
the
so
mood
dead. It sounds like
strikes.
the hedge clippers. You're like, are the gardeners here today? Oh, that's just right up. I like unlock the gate. I'm like, wait, I think the gardener is Rayna.
Like,
Just
that's
going
right.
to town.
I do fingers only, no toys when I'm outside in the backyard.
Oh my god! Wait, that's so fun. You are really brave. You are really brave, and also like
Because there's so many delivery guys.
Yeah.
I make sure
guy.
that the gate is locked. No one's ever caught me. Is all I'm
There's
saying.
the
I need
UPS
to
guy is
be
seeing your
in,
clit,
like,
and I
in
know
a-
it.
I need to be in like a dark room.
Yeah, I'm more
Okay.
like that too. Yeah.
I do. I
Yeah.
swing my arm over my eyes a lot. If I
That's so dramatic. Like this.
it blocks the sun out.
What, like you're like an
Like-
old
like it
Renaissance
blocks
woman,
my-
like on a
Why-
fainting couch?
What? And so you're not watching anything? You're just using the old imagination?
Oh, do you have to watch every time?
Yes.
100% of the time, you are porn.
except for when I was in the Bachelor Mansion, had to use the imagination.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I love masturbating to like old memories or new
What?
memories. I love it.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
I'm
so
like
impressive.
in it all day. Like I can masturbate to a lot of like I can masturbate to the thought of myself like giving a blowjob. Like I
What?
feel inspired by a lot of stuff.
Wow.
Recently I've been masturbating to the thought of somebody going down on me. I feel like I'm just
You going down on you?
somebody else going down.
Oh, I was like, you. That's amazing.
What is that porn category?
Narcissism.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think that's under the category of narcissism.
That's your sexual fantasy. You want to eat your own pussy.
Wow, that's very impressive, though.
Thank you.
Well, now I'm feeling a little bit ashamed of myself.
What?
not
No.
at all. No.
We always say to just like mix it up.
Well,
Should we
sometimes
do?
I don't like watch
Maybe
a
I
lot
should
of porn.
just
I feel
try.
like a prude sometimes because I don't watch a lot of porn.
I'm such a basic bitch for the lesbian porn.
Well, I've always loved
Ooh.
lesbian porn.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
That's the only thing I
Yeah.
watch.
And
Yeah.
we actually heard a comedian talking about this on stage the other night, and I always thought like why was I so into lesbian porn and I wasn't really into women but I found straight porn to be a little violent and not my experience in the bedroom.
You found it to be violent.
Like it's
Straight
just
porn.
straight
Oh,
porn.
straight porn.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's how I feel.
Yes,
Yeah.
it feels the way that men are just pounding on a
It's
woman.
so aggressive
that's not
and it
fun.
doesn't turn me on and it makes me flinch.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So much of it is just it's made for men. It's
Yeah.
not really
Totally.
Yeah, I'm not into it.
Yeah, so that's why I think I really didn't really like straight porn
Like
that much.
I've quoted Superbad twice today now, but
Wait,
Great,
you did?
do
How did I
it.
miss it?
no, this
Other
was on a
recordings?
different podcast
Oh,
today.
no, I was like, I would have flagged that.
But remember when he's like, plus, have you ever seen P in V? He's like, no, it's not for me. Have you ever seen dick go into the vagina? It's not for me. I'm like, that's me.
Right.
So graphic.
That is so fun. I quote it every day.
You do?
Yeah.
I quote. Is your
What's your
boyfriend a movie
go-to?
Oh,
quoter?
Yeah, he is, and Superbad is like one that we like. Yesterday he sent me the like
yeah,
gif.
like a mantic.
Like he was like the funny thing about my what does he say? The funny thing about my
back is
back is
located
on
on
my
my
dick.
cock.
Yeah, like he said that
This?
yesterday.
That's actually is a photo. Is that the photo when I call you?
Oh
Of
yeah,
me with the two microphones?
Yeah, that's your
I
inspo
love
from
that.
Jonah Hill.
So, have you told me your confession then? Is that tan your vagina?
Oh, that's a good confession.
That is a good confession.
Well, I had a story. I'll keep it brief, but
Yes,
this
please.
is an exclusive.
Yeah?
For Off the Vine.
Okay.
This is something it's like a confession and like semi-embarrassing. It was something that happened with Rayna and Tessa. I haven't shared this. I've tried to block it out of my memory.
We don't know about
They
it.
don't know it. So we were. It's not that salacious, but like I feel like I'll just get into it. So
Okay.
we were touring. This was like earlier in 2023.
Yeah.
We landed in I don't even know some city. Maybe it was like Milwaukee. Like late at night. You
Yeah.
know, like coming from the West Coast to a lot of our tour dates was like an all day affair. You know, like like layovers, the whole thing. So we land and we had to get on a shuttle at the airport to like go get a rental car or whatever. Like there's nothing worse than like traveling all day and then you get on an airport shuttle bus.
The worst.
You know, you gotta
Truly.
lift your suit. Like you just want to be in a hotel or
Yeah.
wherever. And we're all loading our stuff on, and this bus driver, they're already like, this bus driver goes to me. He goes, he said, "Are you her mom?" about Rayna, me, Rayna's mom.
No.
Not Tessa. I could be Tessa's mom. I could be Tessa's teen mom. Rayna, my best friend. She's 2 years younger than me. And
Oh my.
And here's the thing.
God.
If somebody makes them like this happened to me one time in the mall with my friend and we laughed about it for years, but he doubled down. 'Cause
No.
I clearly was not happy with that.
I
You were
was
like,
choking back tears.
And listen, today I don't think it would bother me. At that time, I was like still single. I'm like, do I look like a mother of a 38-year-old? You know, like, and I was like, I
Yeah,
was
that's
like,
a mark.
already having feelings about turning 40
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like up
Yeah.
about it. I was like, are you serious? Like I got in his face, so I was like, sir. And he goes, what? I just thought, and I was like, can you stop? Like, he was like doubling down on it.
He's like, I just thought you were
We're
her
mom.
mom.
Exactly it.
He's like, did you not hear me?
Yes. And I was like, can you just drive the bus?
And I'm like, I'm having self-talk where I'm like, stop laughing. Stop Holocaust. Anything. Think of anything to stop laughing at
And
this.
Tessa's over here like trying to hold back. She works for us. She's like, I don't want to piss off my boss. And Kaitlyn, it was not funny to me. I haven't spoken about it since
I'm
then.
so
till
What's
today.
that? It was not funny to her.
And honestly,
not
the
fu-
thing
I
about
mean,
it that
we're
made me so
laughing,
mad
but-
was he was so rude. Like
When he doubled down and
like,
he's
what
like,
was the point of the question? Like, okay, what if you were?
There was no point. Asked it.
There's no follow up.
So, like, to me, I'm like, you clearly have offended a woman
Yeah.
of a certain age.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
You know, like, you thought he would have been like, I'm so sorry. Oh, my God. I'm like, I just thought you were tall. She's short. You know, no, he was like, what? I just think that you're her mom. I was like, oh, my God.
You're like, you bus driver.
I like that he tried to explain himself, and he's like, just so you know, if there was like a part of you that thought I wasn't trying to insult you, I was.
Yes.
Yeah. Just so we're clear here, I'm
Yeah.
offending you.
And this other time was like, I was with my friend Jenny. We were standing in line at Victoria's Secret, like a long time ago, back,
Yeah.
you know, when we were in the malls shopping at Victoria's Secret. And
Yeah.
this woman, like, was looking at Jenny's leggings. Like, they were these really cute, kind of like funky leggings. And she was like, where'd you get those? And Jenny didn't hear her. So I go, she asked you where you got your leggings. And I guess I was giving like mom energy, like, honey,
Right.
tell her where you, and the
They
woman
make you
goes,
do the lady.
and I had this like weird like shawl on. Whatever, like, I did, like, and the woman goes, oh, are you her mom? And like, we laughed about it forever. It was this weirdly innocent mistake because I was serving like mom energy and I was all wrapped up, you know, and Jenny was wearing like slutty leggings. And she called me mom still to this
Right.
day. She calls me mom. And it was funny, but this hurt so bad. And to be so fragile on a shuttle bus at the airport
at the end when you
midnight
already
In
feel like you're
Milwaukee in the
haggard.
winter, by the
Oh.
way. It was
Yes.
freezing.
Yeah, and yes, I know that feeling.
And like I could tell that they wanted to joke about it, and I was like, stop it. Too soon.
And you haven't talked about it till right now.
I never. They didn't know I was going to share this today.
Oh my gosh, are you so glad that she cleared the air now?
We knew.
We can laugh about
We knew
it.
she did not think that was funny.
You've been like over there like trying to she's been holding in this laugh for a very long time.
I know.
In the bus driver's defense, I am very short. Ashley is a foot taller than me, and she does give like I'm in charge of this operation energy.
See, take it as like bad bitch queen energy.
It's honest. I struggled with turning 40.
Yeah.
So there was, and you know, I was single, like whatever. There's just the timing was off. You know, like if it happened tomorrow, I would really laugh. You know, like
Yeah.
he caught me at a bad quarter.
Yes.
You know,
I get it.
but it's just so funny because I was like, I could be Tessa's mom. Like I could be. She has like a young cherubic face. She's 23. You know, like I could be her mom. I could have had her when I was 17.
Right.
And but it was like, Rayna.
And I didn't look so pretty and youthful that day. Just so you know, it's not like it was like, well, it's an easy mistake. Her skin looked flawless. She had great hair. I had been on 2 flights for like 10 hours in the middle of the winter to Milwaukee. I looked like dog shit.
The way we walked into the Iron Horse Hotel in Milwaukee were like drinks immediately. Like they were like, when the bar's about to shut down, we're like, we don't care.
care.
That's so funny. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I get it.
It really feels good to get it out.
It does feel good to get that is
I'm sorry for laughing at you.
No, it's okay.
Now
I
it's
Wait,
Sarah
what's
Laugh
that
at
movie
it.
where she says, I'm sorry? Oh, Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Sorry for laughing. I'm sorry I told everybody about it after.
Oh man. Now I want to find out where you live and just like fuck with you so bad. Like hear you out on your balcony. I'm just gonna like start throwing
stuff. Yeah.
at you.
It'll hit my body. I'll be naked.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It'll hit your 3rd boob job.
Yeah.
I
Those
love it.
titties.
Oh, I love having you guys here. It's so
This
fun.
was so fun.
I have to tell you, so 5 years ago when we came on your show and we were like prepping this story to come, and Ashley, we're in Nashville in this like townhouse, and we're getting ready together. I'm sitting in the bathroom on the sink. I'm like in the sink doing my makeup, and Ashley tells me this story about peeing her pants in her car.
Yeah.
And it's become one of my favorite stories she's ever told. She does it on stage. She tells the whole story. The story can be like a 15-minute story. It's amazing. But it was the first time I ever heard it was when we were going to come on your
Yes.
show.
Well, I was kind of like, we were like not nervous, but you were a big show for us to go on, so I was kind of running it by Rayna, and she was like, "What?"
I was going to pee in the sink.
we were
I'm
like
gonna
new
die.
friends, and she was like,
Wait, I know you told the story, but really quickly, what happened again?
I mean, I don't know how much that story is so long, and it involves me like sleeping with this guy that worked for my dad. I don't remember how.
Oh, yeah.
But I did
I
like
do
pee.
remember this.
I mean, again, like I don't obviously condone drinking and driving, but I was like young and stupid and irresponsible, and
Yeah.
I was driving. I'd been drinking. I was leaving an Eminem concert, and I did pee my pants in my car while I was driving it.
Yes.
And I still went home and like changed into another pair of like wet seal jeans or whatever, and like went over to guy that worked for my dad. Like it was just
I
a
do
nightmare of a night,
You didn't
but also
shower.
iconic. Yeah, I didn't shower.
You just feed yourself, change your pants, and went.
And then that guy got fired the next day.
And I was like, I'm in business with you? This is crazy.
This is crazy. Oh, I love it.
It was still pretty early on. Like I could have turned back at that point.
Oh, thank God you didn't. Wow.
Seriously.
That's incredible. Thank you guys for coming on today.
Oh my gosh, we needed this.
I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. Your session is now ending. And if I'm being honest, I wouldn't mind a rating and review.